Yes, everyone. Hello again. Your friend here is here, the Tokyo Real Estate Man on the Tokyo Real Estate Man channel. And we sit here above using the Google Maps of Japan. We see Sapporo here in the north, and in one of these longest island here in this chain, we see Okinawa. And we had someone recently make a comment about what is Bruce's band. Now, recently, here, I'll just tone my voice down to a regular voice. I've often had an attitude throughout my life, which is, who the hell are you? Uh, what I mean is by that is I don't think that I really have any sort of special talents for things at all. Like other than I'm a pretty industrious person. I am an industrious person, and that's been a good thing for me. But what I mean is I don't really think I have any sort of really special abilities. I guess maybe my Japanese ability, being a white person who's pretty good at Japanese over the years, has been definitely a very good skill. But my belt idea is based on the area of who the hell are you? And what I mean is, who the hell are you? Is I tried to, when I first came to Japan, I tried to always go where the economics is strongest. And in Japan, when we look at, there's so many things we could talk about. First of all, there is, when you look at Japan from this sort of high level like this is actually this would be like a way up there, further than a plane view would be at all. And you can see that Japan really has limited living space. So there's very few, like relative, I would say the living space relative to the entire area. And you can see the living space as indicated by the lighter colored places. Sometimes they come up as like pieces of brown in these pictures, or sometimes they come up as sort of shades as light green, you see here. And most of it is a mountainous area where you really can't live, and you see it here in Kyushu. And when you start studying Japan on a sort of aggregate level, and you come into levels like this, you can see that all the living areas in Japan, whether that be in the hanging valleys here, there, or on the coastal areas, it's basically been decided from years and years and years ago. And the whole fallacy that Japan is just dying is just that, a fallacy. You definitely can say that the Japanese population is going down, but I often say, like, if the worrywarts are correct and Japan's population does sink to, let's say, 80 or 90 million. I'm told right now it's at 125. It would still be, I think, almost 2 or 3 times bigger than the population of Japan, which was estimated in the Meiji time of 30 million. So let's say it becomes 90 million. Well, that's still 2 times bigger. So the idea that Japan is dying, it's just a fallacy. And the idea that these sort of living areas are just going to die is just, again, I guess you could actually say to me that there'd be some sort of settlements or like mountainous areas here where there's been some settlements or something like that that might become a little bit depopulated. But like when you come up here to the higher areas, you'll see that, or maybe if you can say, habitable areas of Japan are maybe at 20% of its landmass, really, and that's been decided from time immemorial. Since you can see as well during the ice age, what had happened here is during the ice age, like this area here fills in, and this area here to here all fills in because the ice. All the water is taken and put into the ice caps of both probably the northern and the southern hemisphere. So this water is transferred from these areas here to these areas up here, and then this becomes an inland sea or a lake, and then people began to walk from here, from Asia over to here, or even up, going up through this archipelago here. Physically speaking, the Philippines, or the northern part of the Philippines, are not very far from Japan. And yeah, you can just see it. That's basically, maybe this area didn't fill in here. It probably filled in here wherever all these sort of light areas of ocean are right there. They probably filled in, and you could easily have come up through like pretty light marine craft here from the Philippines. And all this, like Korea, you can see that the distance between Korea and Japan was basically just closed. Anyhow, just some thoughts about this all, and then that's sort of just you can even see here as like Hokkaido and Kamchatka were definitely connected, as were like Honshu and Hokkaido. And if you actually see the distance between like Shikoku is very close here, and I think the actual distance between Kyushu and Honshu is something like 300 meters. It's not very significant at all. So you can see this is all just like connected, and people walked over here and they decided these sort of living spaces. And then from there had to have been some like internal migration where the people in these and in the successful people in Japan had sort of probably migrated to the mildest or the areas where the best economy was. I can tell you, my wife came here from Niigata, which is here, and she's from a town here called Tokamachi, which is in the mountains here of Niigata right there. And then her town Tokamachi was definitely hit through the Japanese depression, the lost, I guess you'd call it lost couple of decades. I don't really view it as a lost decade, but definitely through the depression, a lot of people would have come here. Like my wife came from her depressed economic town here to, also she wanted to escape her, like the, how can I talk about it? The sort of neurotic sort of small town Japan or small town neighborhood that she had come from. She wanted to escape that sort of where everyone knows each other in this small town. She really wanted to escape that and come to Tokyo, where she could live in some sort of community with a little bit of anonymity that which I totally understand. So that's just a couple of factors. One of them is the economic factor, but there is also like small Japan sometimes can have like even my wife's little micro neighborhood where it's from. It has sort of a neurotic sort of feel where everyone's watching each other. I don't really think that's any indifferent from any other small town anywhere else you'd see in the world. Anyhow, when I came to Japan in the 1990s, I came here to Tokyo because I knew that this was where the economy was strongest. However, I really didn't know much about anything when I came here, and I still don't really know much about anything. And that's why I tried to make it really simple, and I have this idea of the belt. I have a kind of 2 or 3 little principles. I think if your family is from Tokamachi, for example, if you're married to a Japanese family and you're from Tokamachi like mine and you want to buy a house in Tokamachi, I think that's a damn good idea. But I also think that if you really don't know exactly what you're getting into, stick in this band. And my little band, comes from here. You see right here, Kobe in the south, and it goes from Osaka, and you see Nara, and you see Kyoto here, and you see Nagoya here, and you see Hamamatsu right there, and you see Shizuoka right there, and you're going to come into Kanagawa right here, and Shonan area, Odakyu area, and Yokohama, Kawasaki, Tokyo, and then Chiba, even down to, oh my God, look at that beautiful Chiba right there. You can see some of these pictures when you do this. Isn't that fascinating? Mobara right there, and this is Kashiwa, and this would be Narita Airport. So that's basically my band right there. And the idea about the band is basically the idea of who the hell are you? And what I mean by that is I don't think or pretend to know it all. This is just a little thing I talk about. Of course, you say, Bruce, you always talk about the band, and then I like Okinawa real estate. One of the reasons I like Okinawa real estate, we back out and go on down here into Naha. This longer island here is Okinawa right here, and into Naha. You'll see that like you cannot really bring on any supply. It's an island, Naha. And like the rest of Japan, all these areas on top of these mountains, you can't live on them. Okay, this has been decided from time immemorial when the people, probably from the Philippines, or everyone was going both ways on these islands through this sort of archipelago. Anyhow, there's no room to bring on supply in Naha, and that's why the prices for houses in Naha are so high. And there's also a lot of houses that I like about Naha is concrete. So there you see that I have an exception. I also have an exception, like I say, when you have a family or something like that. And I think that that makes a lot of sense too. But if you're coming from somewhere and you really don't know, I'm just like, why do you think you know better? Why do you think you know better? Just pretend you don't know at something and then stick to Kobe, very nice area. Kobe, just also a very nice area, very restricted Kobe because there's mountains behind it. You know that Osaka right there, I did a video on it the other day. It's got a great economy. Kyoto, it's got a great tourist and historical and some very good cheap real estate. That's a good, Nara is a good place to go because, you know, there's a hotel shortage right there. The forgotten city of Nagoya, no one ever talks about it, but this is a huge metropolis. So manufacturing, unbelievable manufacturing that happens here in Nagoya. Toyota is from Nagoya. If you have a chance to going through Nagoya and have a chance of driving through this port that's down here, it's like just absolutely unbelievable, this port area here of Nagoya. And if you have a chance to go over this bridge here, and it's almost scary because everyone's going through, there's so many trucks and cars here on this stretch of freeway right there, but I can't help it because I just like looking at things like ships and trains and oil refineries and nuclear plants and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to pay attention to the road because I'm so fascinated by this port of Nagoya right there. So Nagoya, again, very strong economics. Coming up here to the sort of holiday areas of Tokyo. The holiday areas of Tokyo are in here, like the Shonan area, which is kind of like Tokyo, chill Tokyo, which is here in the Shonan area. It's a great place to be. Or, you know, like Nakamura, my very good friend and business partner, Nakamura, always talks about how he believes that Kyoto and that stuff is the old Japan, and you should be buying in places like Yokohama or Tokyo, especially Yokohama. That's where the better deals are, or here in Chiba, or even in close Saitama, or Kashiwa, for example. I did a video, for example, in Kashiwa, and there's a great economy here behind the whole airport of Narita, and this is the town of Narita, and Narita Airport is up here. That's the beautiful jinja that's there in Narita town. So part of the idea, and by the way, the coastline here, I used to be in the wedding business for many, many years. This is Choshi, and I used to do weddings here at Inubosaki Beach, which is right here. Very, very beautiful. All this beach that stretches along here. It's very, very beautiful. So, of course, that's just my argument, is that when you don't know what you're doing, you could just make it simple, okay? And making it simple might be just staying in the belt. That's a pretty good belt, and what happens is, I'm always thinking, for a lot of you people, okay, that aren't from Japan, if you aren't from Japan or you don't have a family there and you have some kids or something like that, and then you buy something here, at least if you buy something in these strong in this belt, okay, where the population numbers are strongest, maybe your kids or yourself can sell the unit and you can have some other options. For example, you might not like Japan. I get it. Anyhow, that's why I always like to say to people that stay in the band. But again, there's other things we could talk about here while we're looking at this map of just the absolutely amount of limited living space. And don't forget, in that living space there is also the agricultural pockets of Japan is in the same areas. So when you're looking here at these Osaka, you see the city center areas here. But when you come up here into the periphery right here, as you come up, these are all the agricultural belts as well of Japan. And it's not wasted. And it's the same as when you come into Narita Airport, as you come from the west, and you'll come down from Narita Airport or Haneda, it doesn't matter. But when you come in here from Narita and you're coming in here to land, you often get a chance to see the huge, mixed sort of land use here in areas of Chiba, where people and agriculture and entertainment and infrastructure all kind of mix. And it's just, and even in Chiba here, there's stretches of land here in Chiba. In Chiba, there's stretches of uninhabitable land. And if you drive from places like Mobara down here in Mobara and up to places in Kashiwa, you've got to drive to these unbelievable winding roads here in these sort of winding hills of central Chiba. Anyways, this is another video here by the Tokyo Real Estate Man from the Tokyo Real Estate Man channel here. And I'm just trying to tell people to keep it simple and stay in the belt when you don't know what you're doing, because you know that the economics is best here. Having said that, you can do what you want. Anyhow, thank you. Another video, Tokyo Real Estate Man. Very happy to do this one today. Very enjoyable. And thank you for people. I invite people, should you, I'm not on my, I should be careful. Usually pictures of girls come up if I go there. Oh, I told you it was going to happen. Okay, I better go. Should you want to ever contact me or Nakamura, if you're interested in some Tokyo real estate or what have you, please follow the Instagram. It sits at 2755. Oh, God, it's not moving for a couple of days. Anyhow, Tokyo Real Estate Man, Instagram or YouTube, please give us some love. See you later. Alligator. Arigato.